morning, good evening, and welcome to this week's Fiberific live craft and chat. Oh, you got an error? Oh, and just at that moment, my phone rings. So I'm so sorry. I did not have it on Do Not Disturb, which I will fix right now before anything else happens. Goodness me. Okay, everyone's good. There were errors, were there? Interesting. I hope everyone's okay. I'm just double checking. I'm not getting the stream dashboard. Let me just go in and just double check that I've got everything set up. I was working from pretty early this morning and I was, just chilling on the couch, hanging out with the dog, and just totally lost track of time. So I'm so sorry if I've come in hot, come in a bit frazzled. It's purely just because I was not, I was like, I'll set up the stream and I'll go and sit on the couch and I'll finish my coffee, and you guys know the drill, right? You know the drill. Let me know in the chat if you can see, if you can hear all those good things. And we can continue on. So we do have a little bit of housekeeping. Our housekeeping, I'm getting a swirly error here. I don't know what's going on. So let me know if you, I did notice this morning when I was trying to watch a YouTube video, I was having problems. So I ended up just, throwing on some Deep Space Nine instead of a video. That's an interesting way to start the morning, let me tell you. So housekeeping. First things first, we have Caffeinated Crafters tonight. So if you are in Southeast Queensland, if you can get yourself to Beanley Marketplace Cafe 63, we'll be sitting there crafting. I'll be probably consuming some sort of dinner or, dinnerish food, and I'm sure others who attend will be doing the same. And then also this Saturday, so I speak Brisbane time, so this Saturday at 10 a.m. we have our productivity stream, and we haven't had one for a few months. So I'm really looking forward to this. So part of why I'm looking forward to it is my brain has been on a little crafting holiday these last few weeks. And so I've just been trying to just go through the motions nearly. And so this time round, I think I've actually got, I've got some stuff to do. I got some things to finish. So let me know in the chat if you would have things to finish for a productivity stream. What I have been doing, what craft have I actually been doing? I made some swatches, which I still have, they've been washed and dried and I've yet to measure them. So we'll go through those and have a look. I've done a couple of rows on my hat, not many. Hardly any, but just a couple of rows on the hat. Now, I just want to double check that you guys can see and hear still. I know, Kelly, you just said you did, but I just got a really icky error, and I just want to double check it's all still good. Do I even have a tape measure handy? I may not even have a tape measure handy. That would be dumb. That would be so dumb. Now, the other thing that I've been doing, which was not on the plan, all right? It was just something my brain went, you know what would be a good idea? Let's start another project. So I literally started another project. I haven't put it on Ravelry yet, nothing, because I wanted to sort of see if I liked it. So, to see if it's working, to see if I like how it's sort of looking. And I think I'm liking it. So I think I'm going to continue with it. So Mousy Moo says, oh, now it's work. Oh, now it's work. I'm not, and hi, Mousy Moo, great to see you. So I'm going to show you that too. I'm hoping whoever was ringing did leave a message. It doesn't look like they did. Good job, random person ringing. So my brain just totally fried that. Let's go. Oh, it's working now, so that's good. Good. Alrighty, so let's start with the thing that I'm working on. I haven't tested this camera. Nope, look at that. Of course, I haven't checked what's visible in it. Mouse is fine, swatches are fine. Let's get the phone out of it. All right, are you ready? Guess in the chat while I have a sip of my ridiculously hot tea because I did not let it cool enough before I put its lid on. Have a guess at what it is you think I've started that it wasn't on the plan to start. Have a guess. Gosh, that really is hot. I should just drink the water, right? Let's just drink water. We'll just drink water because the tea is lava. Tea is lava. My poor little mouth is on fire. Kelly's guessing a new crochet top. Nisbin Girl says, yeah, you just got the stream to work for me. So those of you that have just gotten the stream to work for you, have you been able to see the chat? Like you weren't able to see the screen, but were you able to see the chat? So I'm just thinking if we just let everybody know to refresh their stream. Or, you know, and see how it goes. But I know that like I couldn't get YouTube to work on my television this morning. So I thought it was a me issue. Oh, thank you, Leslie. You could see the chat, so that's good to know. Yeah, I thought it was a me issue. I didn't realize it was you know, one of those things. Oh, and Kerry's got the first ad taking over the chat screen. Okay. All right. So Kelly's half right. Kelly's half right. I have decided to start another ranunculus. There we go. Come on, camera. You got this. It's another ranunculus. It's in the Bendigo 8-ply or worsted weight or whatever they want to call it, solstice cotton. And the reason I just wanted to test it out is I wanted, because it's chunkier, right? My last ones have all been like super fine, so I didn't know if I'd like it chunky. And secondly, I wanted to see how this yarn felt stitched up. I haven't really done much with it yet. And I kind of love it. I do kind of love it. So I've got that. You know, some of these stitches are sort of just not sitting how I'd like them to. Nothing I can do about that, really. It must be like a way that I was doing yarn overs or something. I mean, I was just doing yarn overs. It was weird. Anyway, that's fine. But the color is gorgeous, isn't it? It's such a beautiful bright color. I'm actually told, see, I'm at this point where I'm like, I'm not sure if you can I zoom this in? Let me have a look here. I do not have my fan on in here either. Whew, it's a bit warm. Logitech Brio. Zoom that guy in. No, that's really awful. Can I have some decent software that works? That'd be great. That'd be great. Let's see if the Logitech software even loads because I came running in going, oh my God, at 5 minutes to stream time. I had like everything open. Yes, it is the solstice. I had everything open and I'd you know, scheduled the stream and everything. And then I walked away. And then when I came back, I wasn't quite as ready as I thought I was. So yeah, so let's just see if Logitune does more than just opens up its little purple screen of nothing. No, we just get the purple screen of nothing. Great. That's super useful. Cool. Loved that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold this up for us, but see how the, that last is just not, the last loop there is just, it's just not working. I think I was testing out a different knit two together or something, and it just, not knit two together, SSK method, and it doesn't work. Like, I mean, it does work, it looks great, but it doesn't work for this instance. So I actually think I'm going to have to pull back a couple of rows, fix that up, and then continue back on. But other than that, super happy with it. Love how it feels. This feels like a cloud. It's so soft. So this is a cotton. It's a chainette cotton that also is a loose chainette. So it's not a tight chainette like the Lindy chain. The Lindy chain's a tight chainette where there's, and the cotton quality is different as well. So this is a tight, highly spun cotton, and this is a loose, like a looser chainette that's also looser spun. So it's very soft in comparison. This is still lovely, don't get me wrong. I really like this. but this is next level. So if you have not um if you have not tried out Bendigo Woolamills Solstice yet, and they still have any, I know that they ordered some more in, and I may have ordered 3 colors back when it came out, but I haven't gone that way. Let's have a look. Morning, having some weird issues with chat connections. Not sure if it's me. It's a YouTube issue. It's a YouTube issue. I had problems here at home before, like just trying to watch YouTube, and lots of people in the chat have been having problems as well. It is a YouTube issue. So yeah, you reckon I should just leave it and just try and block it out or something? But I don't know. I suppose I'm not like how some people like really firmly block these open. I don't actually do that because I don't I seriously consider leaving those out entirely, but I don't. Because it's, it's starting to get lower down. So I don't actually block them that vigorously so that it doesn't sit open so much. So maybe it'll be fine. I don't know. What do you guys think? What would you do? Would you go back and pull that out and fix it? Or would you just leave it as is? Let me know in the chat. Which way would you go? That camera is awful. So while you guys are deciding, I'm actually going to go in and uninstall some software and reinstall some software just so that we can try and get this camera angle working. Knitspin Girl says, I wasn't sure if it was a YouTube thing or a me thing. I've just changed internet providers. It's definitely a YouTube thing. Let me just double check Threads, because that's where YouTube does all its postings now, or at least that's what it says it does. YouTube. Let's see if anyone else is complaining. Oh, first post. Is anyone else's YouTube not working right now? YouTube is facing mass outages all over the world right now. So it seems that everyone is. Okay, so it is not just us. So if we made it, if we're here, we're so lucky. We're so lucky. Alrighty, let me just fix this mess. I want to go there. I want to go to applications. So let me know while I'm doing this. Let me know in the chat what it is you're working on. Leanne, we can see you. We can hear you. We can't hear you. We can see your comments, and it's not you. It's not you. It's YouTube. YouTube's having a moment. So yeah, it is not you. It's like, we can't move that to the bin because it's open. It's like, it might be technically open, but it's not running. Move to the bin. Move you to the bin. Move you to the bin. Oh no, so not you. It's so not you. Apparently YouTube have now, they used to do all their troubleshooting over on Twitter, but now it is now they do it all over on Threads. So if you guys are on Threads, you can always just Google YouTube and double check to see if the problem is you or if it's YouTube. But in this instance, it is YouTube. YouTube is the problem. They need that song. Oh, do you know what else I forgot to do? I forgot to turn off the leaderboard. It's all right. Yes, I would like to open it. I would like to install it. What's the point of giving you all that information? You never do anything with it. Okay, so while that's happening, I'm going to go in and turn off the leaderboard. Customization, leaderboard, save. Okay. Alrighty. Mousy Moose says, I'm currently working on bobble socks from Nacy Wheeler. Launch Logitune. Leanne says, thank you, I can hear you, but the comments are dropping out. Yeah, it's a YouTube issue. YouTube is having some problems. I'm really glad that we're actually still able to be here. So for those just jumping in now, because I probably announced it too close to the start of the stream, we do have Caffeinated Crafters tonight. So if you are in the southeast corner of Queensland and you can come along to Beanley Marketplace Cafe 63, we'll be there from about 6 o'clock onwards. So you can totally join us and come and hang out and spend time, and we can just have a good time crafting. They tend to let us stay until about 8:30ish, so we get a good couple of hours of crafty chat, which I love it. I think it's great. So yes, let's see if we are getting better. So I bring that back down. Hello, you get to see my whole desk while I get to sort all this out. There we go. Ooh. Need to, all right, let me just, image adjustments. All these things. Oops, we want HDR. We don't want that. We want PAL, save. And then we would like to zoom in. Geez, that white balance is just dreadful, isn't it? There we go. And then let us, sorry guys, sorry. I should have done all this beforehand, but I did not. Let's not go auto white balance because you're choosing a weird number. We would like 54. Let's not do that. That's, well, it's a bit of fun. Let's not do that. That's about right. Where are you? There we go. Alrighty. The Artist Havens, great to see you. This pink is just blowing the camera out. Let me just see if it doesn't when it's like that, but then it makes me jaundice. I'm not a jaundice person, not today anyway. Like your auto white balance is not my friend. There we go. Look, we're going to go with that. I don't want to mess around too much. Oh, and that's the other thing I need to turn off. Autofocus. So we would like to focus. There we go. Okay. Let's have a look here. Kerry Randall is currently working on her tempo sweater. It's a half twisted rib. That is awesome. Knit Spin Girls has passed the halfway point on the Attic 24 cozy blanket because apparently nothing inspires me more than to make a blanket with 30-degree temperatures. Tell me about it, right? Like, what has this weather been lately? Yeah, it's obviously anti-pink. Yeah. Oh, and the pink is quite, like, the pink is very bright. Well, it's I would say it's not as bright as the pink from the blanket that we made all those weeks. It's a lovely pink. I think it's beautiful. And I just think this webcam is just not doing it justice. Leanne says, I'm working on crochet strips from the Mix and Match book from Esme Crick. Awesome. Editing on the fly like a true live stream. yeah. Sometimes we just have to change these things up. They just don't, especially with some of these colors. The cameras just don't like it. But in this instance, the software didn't boot and I came in a little bit hot on the live stream. So, Mel says, wow, YouTube is really having issues. It kept telling me I had no internet and then I had it loaded and no video, no chat, no title, had to reboot it. Yeah, there is some serious YouTube issues going on around the world. Lots of people having outages, lots of stuff going on. So if you've made it into the chat, you've made it. So yeah. So yeah, John says he finished one mosaic blanket and starting the next. Now I was trying to, hang on a second, just double checking these. Alrighty, I was trying to get my little, my little camera with all our little Discord images. I wanted to get that little stinker going today, but I realized my two internets, I had them set up on different. Anyway, I think I fixed that. So let's see if we can make it work. Make it do the thing. It needs to choose. Maybe the software is no longer running. Let me check. Start. Let's see. That. Isn't it amazing how when you actually connect things, correctly, how they work. All right, so we've got John's mosaic blanket here. Well, it's Robert's mosaic blanket. I'm assuming John has made it for Robert. Let's have a squeeze at this. These colors are amazing. They are so vibrant, and I love all the stitch choices. It's just so interesting. And it would have been fun to make. Like, it wouldn't have been boring, because you're like, okay, I'm going to do this for this long, and then I'm going to do this for that long. I love that. Absolutely love that. Thank you. And thank you for sharing that on Discord. If you want us to show your photos of your completed projects, you need to go over to Discord and put them in the completed project, and then choose the tag of share them on the live stream. So these are, hang on, I missed it. I just went straight into the photo. These are the first set done Slip It Simple socks from Loopy. Oh, I like that. That is nice, because sometimes we get these variegated yarns and we just don't know what we can do with them, because, you know, they're variegated yarns and some patterns don't always work with the variegateds. But this is just such a little bit of interest that keeps it from being a totally vanilla sock that still works with a variegated pattern. That is super pretty. And I like the toes on those as well. I like the wider, squarer toe. I know not everybody does, but for me, absolutely, I do like the wider, squarer toe. So thank you for sharing that pattern too. I'm definitely going to have to go and check that one out. John has also made a hat. John, you look so happy in the hat. You look so, so happy. But it's on your head and it's ready for fall. So you can't really ask for much more than that. It's a witch hat. Let's have a look here. We've also got the Terex shawl, which I'm not sure if we showed this one last week, but geez, these colors are nice. Is that like a light cabling mixed all through that? Sorry, I'm just. Oh no, it's yarn overs and stuff. Oh geez, that patterning is so interesting. They are so interesting. Probably easier to see down here on this part of it. I like that. So it's not technically a cabling. It's like what we're doing here, where we pull the stitch through. The hat's a wool blend. Awesome. That hat would be super warm then. Gosh, you guys have just been prolific, and I know that I sort of missed a week with Vid Summit. So and I think we already showed the Artsag set, but I'm going to show it again because that is just beautiful. So it was the blanket and the matinee jacket and the bonnet and the booties all together. That looks gorgeous. So beautiful. Such a beautiful gift. Such a beautiful gift. You guys are so talented. Honestly, I love being able to share with you all each other's work. You all get to see my work, and my work's just a bit like, but you guys are so talented. And I just love that you're making gifts for people, that you're trying new patterns. Like, I don't know of many crafters who go, you know what, I found this one pattern and I'm just going to do this one pattern forever. Oh, we've got, okay, let me just go in. That's 3 ads in 30 minutes. It's 10, that's ridiculous. Let me go in and fix some settings. I'm turning the monetization off. Off. Yeah, my ad mode is set to manual, but I am not adding ads. So, all right. So hopefully from very soon, you shouldn't get harassed with any more of those. So yeah, it's definitely, I'm so sorry about the ads. I know Renee at YouTube told me that they are working on the ad issue with the live chat, but obviously it's not fixed yet. There's nothing I can do about that. So with what I was saying, like so many times, like when we see like people making things, They make the same thing over and over again, but we don't. Like, yeah, sure, we might make a couple of the same things unless we're production knitters or production crocheters, and that's a totally different thing. But when we're just doing stuff as gifts or as things for ourselves or what have you, we're always using new patterns from new designers, trying out new things. So it's nearly like we've got to reinvent the wheel every single time, because when you do stuff from the same designer all the time, at least you get an idea of what their gauge is, and when they say negative ease, what they mean by that, and things like that, you adjust to that. But when we're constantly changing designers and projects and everything, and then you guys just do beautiful work. That's my point. That's what I'm trying to say here. You all do beautiful work, and I so appreciate you letting me share the photos of your gorgeous yarn crafting work on our channel here. Bianca says, I've had 4 ads covering the chat and it's always the same one. I saw your message come through. So yeah. The ranunculus seems to be the exception to the rule. I think my glasses are dirty. The ranunculus is the exception to the rule, right? Like, this is technically my 3rd ranunculus now, I think. But the first one was made with a 4-ply. The second one was made with a really lightweight fingering silk. And this 3rd one's been made like with a chonky cotton. Like, I have not made 3 the same. And I think that's the thing about the ranunculus. Oh, and I've made 1 short sleeved and one mid sleeve, like 7/8 sleeve. So maybe, yeah. Maybe you should manually place an ad. That way you could all use it as a go make a cup of tea break and then sort of pause the live for the ad so you still get monetized. Just a suggestion. Well, that's a possibility. There's a slight catch to that. Anybody with YouTube Premium doesn't get an ad. So I still got to, you know, talk and chat and stuff. Yeah. So, I mean, that's still a possibility. That's still a possibility, and I appreciate that suggestion as well. Kerry says, my Tempo sweater also has been very modified for fit. I have even thrown some sort of short rows in the back for a slight scoop at the back hem. This is the thing. You have got such crazy skills that you're able just to go, you know what? I want to scoop at the back. I'm just going to pop some short rows in here and just get that scoop going how I want it. I like a nice loop back, you know, things like that. And I love that we can do this. Like, we can follow a pattern, right? Most of us here can follow a pattern. Let me know in the chat. Can you follow a written pattern? I'm going to be specific, a written pattern. Majority of knit and crochet designs are written. But then, like for my ranunculus t-shirt, I made the ranunculus down to the waistband and then went, do you know what? I actually prefer the waist of this other sweater. And I went and grabbed the instructions of that and sort of jiggery-pokery them to fit the ranunculus. It wasn't much. It was just some stitch changes, like some stitch length changes, nothing too crazy. But I was like, I like the little, you know, the little open side with the slightly longer back and the shorter front with the little split hem. Is that what it's called? Split hem? I don't know what anything's called. Why are you here? Do you think I know all the things? Because I don't. No. Kelly says, yeah, I can follow a well-written pattern, perhaps, but not a poorly written one. Yes, I get that. I don't know why that's... Why are you so... You're a bit... Anyway, that'll do. That's not right. Why are you loose? Oh, I know what's going on. Tibbles was over here knocking my stuff around. Let me just... There we go. Bianca says, usually there's some patterns that are real head scratches though. Yeah, they exist. They exist. Alrighty, so something else I wanted to show you. So last week I did a, I like this. The Game Widow says, I can follow a pattern, but the real question is, do I? That is a good point. I can follow a pattern, but sometimes I have to read it a few times because my brain doesn't brain. That's me. That's me. And this is the thing, because everyone writes their patterns slightly differently. Like, my absolute favorites are when people just reinvent terms, like invent their own terms for pre-existing standard stitches. And then you're like trying to follow these crazy instructions and you're like, okay, insert it and then you do it and you're like, well, no, that was just a such and such a stitch. That can't be right. This has got to be a special stitch. It's got a crazy 27 syllable name. And then you do it again, and then you go to Ravelry, and then you check the notes, and everyone's like, oh yeah, and by the way, this is just a such and such a stitch. And you're just like, oh, I've just spent 20 years trying to work out how to do their special stitch. I need to fail at it. I need to realize it's just a, you know, something that already exists. And you read some instruction, that's dumb, I'm doing it my way. Yeah, no, that one usually comes back and bites me in the butt. Oh, you too as well? Yeah, sometimes it does. That's the one I'm currently working on is not so good, but some nice Ravelry user has actually redone the chat, the pattern and other modifications. Oh my gosh. Oh dear. I'm now using a European pattern without much hand holding, so pretty good at interpreting designers' ideas. That's cool. That's cool. I'm loving this. I love this because, you know, we can all get used to a particular pattern. Oh, Molly says, I really hate it. Oh, go away. I get really annoyed when charts are different symbols. Yeah, so what it is there's a particular software that designers can use and they can get all of the standard chart symbols from that. But that software is expensive, right? It is not free. So if they're building their own charts, sometimes they don't actually have or can't find the symbol that was used in that chart. Also, some just don't bother looking at all because some of them are standard keyboard strokes and you could have put it in, but they just don't. But yes, it is. I don't like it when they only put in half a chart and just go, just mirror it. And you're just like, I just want the whole chart. Just give me the whole chart. It's not like I'm printing it out anyway. Just give me the whole chart. Leanne says, I follow the written pattern with some slight adjustments sometimes, mostly adding more current tips I've learnt along the way, e.g. I never use chain ups now. There you go. There you go. Because that's the thing. We all learn things from different patterns. And like a big one is the foundation rows in crochet. Like, do you need to chain 11 billion stitches and then just single crochet back across them all? No, you can do a foundation row. And then you don't have to try and chain into this. You don't have to try and work into the chain loops. But if you've got to like work lacy row into your chain loop row, then you've probably got to do it that way. So, you know, like we learn things, we build our own skills, we advance through things. And this is how we go from beginners to intermediate to advanced to lunatics, which is where most of you are. You're all lunatics. I'm more, I would consider myself a good intermediate. Like there are some things I still need to learn before I would feel like I'm an advanced knitter or a crocheter. Oh, I consider myself an advanced crocheter, but like a solid intermediate knitter. But one thing I wanted to show you, totally not yarn craft related, okay? Last week at Bid Summit, I was working very hard, crazy hours. So, which is why we didn't stream last week. I was not a human at that time. I'd finished work. I technically could have streamed, but I was no. Anyway, I bought myself a reward. Do you guys want to see the reward I bought for myself? I bought a reward. You might be able to guess what my reward was. Like, jump in the chat. Tell me what you think my reward was. I think I may have mentioned it right at the start. Because, you know, sometimes I do that. I don't think, oh no, I won't make it a guessing game. That's silly. And then I make it a guessing game. So it's a guessing game. In the meantime, I could probably do some stitches on this and then I'll show you what these swatches are for. Because not every, you know, like, and I've got to measure the swatches. I'm hoping that, what have I done there? I'm hoping that they measure right because I really don't want to do it again. I'm not the biggest fan of swatches. And look, I don't swatch for most things, but when I'm making garments, I tend to swatch. I did not swatch, however, for my ranunculus, which I realized later. And I'm like, oh, maybe that's going to, you know, you know, maybe that's going to shoot me in the butt. Wasn't a new camera. No, it was not a new camera. I did not splurge on myself and buy a new camera. It was not tech. It was not tech, and it was not special yarn. Leanne says, how did the Vid Summit go? Just quickly, I'd like to know. It was great. They had some phenomenal speakers. Honestly, there was like 80 speakers. I was moderating 4 live chats simultaneously, so I couldn't always listen to what the talks were about and take it in. So I could hear them. I was checking their levels and things like that to make sure the mics and everything were working. But I couldn't actually like listen in properly, except for when they did the keynote talks, because they were the only chat happening at that time. All the other stages were quiet. So, but then, so I got to listen to the keynotes, and they were all fantastic. Like, I bought one of them's book. Like, I rung one of the other ones because I know them, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that was amazing. I sent another one a message because we're friends, and I was just like, you just rocked it. So yeah, it was one of those, it was just a phenomenal event, and I just felt so much FOMO for not being there, honestly. Like, I get it. I understand why I wasn't there, but at the same time, I'm like, oh my gosh, this was so hard. It was also so hard because I had to try and keep quiet and not have too many lights on because of the family still needed to sleep and work on Australian time, even though I would flip to Dallas time. So I was getting up at 9:30 at night, having breakfast, getting ready to jump into work, having lunch at sort of, you know, midnight to 2 a.m. somewhere in there, depending on when the lunch break was on, then working through again, and then having dinner at like 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. No, I wasn't. I was having dinner later. Dinner was later. Anyway, you know, so it was just all a bit janky. So I did struggle a little bit with that, with the keeping quiet for everybody else. I had a test run day where I just sat in here in the dark room. But then I couldn't. I got through that night, and the next morning my husband, I was sitting out in the lounge room, and my husband's come out and he's like, are you okay? You look awful. And I was just like, I can't do this sitting in the dark all night, like going to sleep through the, like, I can't, I'm going to have to leave my light on, which my daughter's bedroom is just right there. So I was just like, I'm going to have to shut the door, and it's going to be an oven, but I have to have the light on. But she ended up being so amazing and just like, don't even worry about it, Mum. Don't shut the door. Just leave your light on. I'll be fine. And she was. And so, yeah, it was just, aside from that part of it, and there were some glitches with the software, the rest of it was amazing. The rest of it was amazing. The Artist Haven, who is here, was actually there in person. She was at the event, and I'm a bit jelly, and I'm glad you went, and I'm so good. Nixon Jevons was the best. I'm so grateful I got to go this year. I needed, yeah. So in Australia, we don't call our butts that. We call the front of our butts that. That's the other word for your girl bits. Isn't it weird that Americans call it their bums, and that's not their bum here? Nope. I didn't realize. I wouldn't have brought it on screen if I hadn't seen that last word. I'm sorry. I'm like, oh, I'm so embarrassed. Sorry, everybody. Back to the pattern thing. Game Widow says, I have been known to crack the grumps at a written pattern and chart it out and then color code it, muttering curses the entire time. Me too. Oh no, it's totally fine. I should have read it. And it is literally just a, yeah, that's right, John. You are not alone in the chat. We got a couple of Americans. Slang is weird, right? It's so local. Leanne says, sounds awesome. Of course, it would be fab to get there again. Absolutely. But all right, so what is the treat that I bought myself? Oh, Kelly, there you go. You learnt something too. There we go. So the treat that I bought myself, somebody did guess it in the chat. You ready? More Lego flowers. The plum blossom in the little stand. I'm like, where am I going to put the plum blossom? I don't know, but I bought them. I haven't even opened it yet. I haven't had time to sort of hit the ground or anything, but I have it. And it's so exciting. Maybe I should just like, yay, it can just sit there for now. But yeah, it looks super cute. Because I get really torn, right? I love the ones in the little pots because it means I don't have to go and find good heavy vases for them. But then I also love the ones that are all the single stems that I can arrange them however I want in the vases. So I love them both, and so I don't know which one I like better. But I just wanted something sort of littleish that was just like a little reward to sort of sit down and just sort of do. So yeah, so it's the plum blossom one. So that's the inspiration photo of the Japanese plum blossoms, and just yeah. I think it's really pretty, and I can't wait to do it, honestly. I really can't. I think it's going to be something I do later today. Or maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow. I don't know. I don't know when I'm going to do it. Who knows? So, because I know in the UK, some ladies' names is Fanny. So if you look at old copies of like Enid Blyton's works, I know that in my versions that I have, like, so I've got the old copies of the books. One of the 4 children in the Faraway Tree series, one of the daughters' names was Fanny, but I know that they've changed that for the newer prints. So yeah. Yeah, that's our front section. Yeah, and that's right. And thongs are flip-flops. Yep. Yep. I have to remember that sometimes when I'm like chatting to people and they're like, oh, you know, do you wear shoes when you're at work? Like when you're working from home? And I'm like, nah, I normally just have on a pair of thongs. And they look at you like, and I'm like, flip-flops, flip-flops. So yeah, it's just one of those things. Nice, you've enjoyed building them. Great project. I love them. I love them. Those are Legos I would be interested in. So pretty, but my cats would probably try to eat them. My cat hasn't, and so yeah, so he's been very good about them. He hasn't given 2 rats about them actually. So you know, oh yeah, Fanny Price, of course. Jane Austen has a heroine called Fanny. So yeah, Fanny Price. She was, yes, yep. It took us all a little second. Yeah. Yeah. Like, you know, like the pluggers, like with the little, I'm like looking on the floor because sometimes I kick a pair off under my desk, but I don't have any here. But, you know, like the rubber things that you wear to the beach with the little, you know, bits that hang over the, yeah, we call them thongs. They're called thongs. So isn't language fun? We get into that a bit here sometimes, don't we? We do talk about language. I'm like, do I have a tape measure? I do. Look at this. 1 tape measure. Let us drop down here to this other camera angle. We're going to measure some swatches. Nearly put that in my tea. Alrighty. So what other, don't look at this. Don't look at that. Stop looking at that. I realized I was botching something up and I fixed it for the top half. Okay. So shh. Where is the bottom? Where is the top? That's the bottom. That's the top. Bottom, that's the top. Okay. Now, what projects am I swatching for? Garments. Yes, garments for sure. Now, I do have them on my laptop. Not my laptop, on my iPad. Let me just look here. Oh, and did you all stop getting ads? Like, just let me know in the chat if you all stopped getting ads. Okay. Alrighty, so our first one, stop that. That's not what I chose. I chose this. Thank you. The first one is the Kalaheo, or I don't know how, from Expression 5 Arts. So let me just open it up on Ravelry. So those of you that are anti-Rav, you might need to look away temporarily. Not just yet though. I am jumping in. My project, no, it's not in my projects at all. I haven't gone that far. I need patterns because I'm, you know, I'll get there. I'll get there with the projects. but you know, I don't. I mean, I'm partway through one, and that's still not in there. Anyway, stop judging me. I'm feeling it. I can feel the Kelly. Stop it. I can feel it, Kelly. Do you want to buy me a coffee up? Let me look. Buy me a coffee. There we go. I don't know why that's not showing. It's probably behind my head. That's fine. Alrighty, let me go. Color. Hey. I don't know how to say it. That's how you spell it. What am I doing? Where am I? I'm in knitting. I'm in search for Kalaheo. That's what I typed. I hate you. Why are you doing this? Kalaheo. Oh. I'm like, oh my gosh, why isn't it showing up? Oh, there's something wrong. No, I had specified knitting and it is a crochet pattern. All right, let me just, oh dear. There we go. Alrighty, so it's this one here. It's the Kalaheo, or I don't know. Tell me if I'm doing it all wrong. So I'm looking at doing it with this beautiful light blue. And I've got the pattern open, so I can see what the gauge is supposed to be, which is supposed to be up 18 stitches and 11 rows for 4 inches. So that's the pattern that we're working on. So let's have a look here. We've got 4 inches. Let's just make that a bit straight. Pointy thing for counting. Start at the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, 18. 18 stitches! It's 18 stitches. And I just washed it and just, you know, I didn't pin it or anything. All right, now let's see what, because rows we can janky up. Rows we can sort out. It's the stitches that I need to get right. Okay, so for rows, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and a bit. What do they want? They want 11 rows and we've got 9 and a bit. 9 a bit. That's quite a bit different. I'm like wondering if I've done the wrong stitch. Oh, John's off. Have a good week, John. That's actually a lot to be off. Now it's supposed to be like a special extended half double crochet. And I thought I was doing it. Insert the hook. Yeah, I did what the instructions said. That's very short, but that looks quite long, really, doesn't it? Like, can you imagine that, like, with the same width of stitches but longer? That doesn't seem right. Anyway, so we're short. We're short on that one. Shortness I can work with. I can just add more length, right? I can sort of work out, like, in each section what extras I need to do. Okay, so this other one was... look here. I'm trying to find the one that I did. It is, I was looking at a lot. It's the Vesuvius Tea. So let me just jump over to here. Vesuvius Tea. Kelly Pole has just shouted me 3 coffees. Thank you so much, Kelly. I really appreciate those coffees. Thank you. I don't even know what to say, but thank you very much. Okay, so this is the swatch for the Vesuvius Tea. Now, obviously, I'm going to be making mine a bit longer at the front, and I was going through, so this pattern is not inexpensive. It's 19 Australian dollars or 9 British pounds. But when I went through, like when you download it, you also got a lookbook. So you didn't just get the pattern, you got a whole other document, which was all of her models, all of her, all the people that made it with her, the pattern testers, that's what I was looking for, the pattern testers, and what variations they did to get the garment in their image, and or the modifications. And I thought, that is awesome. So you get both of those. So I've got the Vesuvius T here. Do we have the gauge here? Oh, we've got it written right here, so I don't need to go hunting for it. Where's my tape measure? There it is. So let's go back to here. Alrighty, so we have 4 inches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. I want to say 22. Because I think it's like 21 and most of the next one. And I'm looking here and we've got 22 stitches. So we're close there. And then 7 rows. So if I start, actually, where should I start? Because we've got a couple of different stitch rows. Alrighty, so let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, okay. All right. All right. They're measuring pairs. So sorry, I was measuring the wrong thing. That's why I was like, what? It's only halfway through. So let me have a look here. In stitch pattern per gauge, measuring a pair of rows. Okay. So you don't count the single crochet and that's one set. So it's 1, 2. Oh, let me just go back to here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let me try again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just on 8. Just on 8. Funnily enough, too tall. So they've got 22 stitches wide, which I've got right, and 7 rows. So somewhere I'm getting a little bit too tall. So I'll need to make some adjustments, but I've got the right stitch widths. So this one's for the Vesuvius T and this one's for the Kalaheo. And I actually think I'm going to go with the hook choices because I've got the right stitch widths. Changing my hook size is not going to fix anything. It's going to make the widths either too narrow or too wide, and it may adjust the height. So whereas like, I mean, here I could probably, you know, it's quite dense. I could probably just block it out a little wider and that could solve that. Same with this one. It could probably just get blocked a little and it would solve the length issues. So, but you also want to be careful. You don't want to pull it too much because I don't know if you can see this, but when I pull, it makes it skinnier. So it sort of, it narrows it down. When you pull something, it makes it skinnier through the middle because it has to give somewhere. So you don't want to block too heavily if you've got the right stitches, but if you just block a little, it could make the difference. So while these were washed, they were just laid out. I didn't block them open at all. They weren't pinned. They were laid on a towel squashed on them and then allowed to dry. You can see where here I dropped a stitch and realized I dropped a stitch and then added back in. But I didn't care because this is a swatch and as long as the bit's in the middle. So that was the other thing I wanted to talk about is when we're swatching, for a 4-inch swatch, you don't make a 4-inch square because you need to not be counting the edges or the top and bottom because they distort things. So for this 4-inch swatch, these are 4-inch swatches that I'm measuring on. They are actually 5.5 wide, 6 inches. I try to go 6 by 6, honestly, but that's 6 and that's 6. So yeah, so that one's a bit narrower. So that one was sort of like 5, just over maybe 5 and I don't know, more than 5.5. But then down here it got like, oh, that's less than 5.5. And then up here it got back to 5.5. So about 5.5. But you want to not have to count the edge stitches. So it's really like, and if you're doing like a garter swatch, sorry, not garter, if you're doing a stockinette knitted swatch, you want to have like maybe even just a border of some garter or moss stitch around the edges so that everything sits flat, so you can measure the middle section without any kind of distortion. If you are just measuring, if you're just creating a 4-inch swatch, there is a possibility, it could work, but there is a possibility that that you end up with it just not quite right. So always, like, not always, but if you're going to swatch, if you're going to the effort to make a garment, you want to swatch, and you want to make it a decent swatch. Look, what I tend to do is, like, if I don't need the yarn for the end garment, like if I've got extra, I actually just wash this with the garment, and I have spare yarn that's being washed at the same stage of the garment. So if I have to do repairs, it's not bright, shiny new yarn in an older garment. It's matching yarn. So both of these are Bendigo cotton 4-ply. I think I ended up doing both with, I think it's 2 different hook sizes. I think one's a 375 and one's a 3, or it might be the other way around. But yeah, but I've got photos. So I'm actually happy with both of those, and I will go forward with those garments, obviously with some adjustments. So, but yes, but this one here, I actually think like a little bit of like judicious, let me just see what happens. Do we have a marker or something? Stitch marker would be nice. I got needles, so let me get some colored needles here. I'll get 2 colors. Let's see what kind of blocking would be required to get this to where we want it. So we've got, oops, inches. We want it there. Okay. Oh, there. So that's 1. Oh, hang on a second. Are we upside down? We are. Let's do it correctly. If we're going to do this, let's do it right. Okay. So to get to the 4 inches, we've got there, right? So we have our 0 here, and we get to the 4 inches. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait a second. I think even me just pulling on it a little bit has made it enough. I'm like getting the right count now. Let me just try again. Because I sort of washed it and didn't touch it and was very careful in how I was moving it. And now I've given it just a little, zhuzh. I didn't do anything too crazy to it. Oh, wait a second. I was doing the full... No, I did. I did some crazy stuff to it. Okay, that may have ruined everything. Good job, Chantal. All right, let me go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, no, it's still at 8. So we're here. We're just right at the top of the 8th stitch, right? But we want it to be at the top of the 7th stitch. So we're at the top of the 8th. Yeah, we want it to be the top of the 7th. So what kind of... Let me just get that in there. There we go. What kind of judicious pulling do we need to do to make that reach the... It's not that bad, actually. It just opens it out a little bit. It's just a standard blocking. It's just a standard blocking. For crochet, if the pattern is in the round, do you need to swatch in the round? Look, yes, really, you should, but I don't. But it actually just, like, the difference being, the stitches just, you're seeing the front and the back of the stitch rather than it being changing the way you do the stitch. So the reason when we're knitting it in the round and we need to swatch in the round is because a lot of people knit slightly differently when they're knitting and when they're purling, and their tension changes. So that then, some people it might be looser, some people it might be tighter when they're purling. And so when their tension changes in that swatch, they're used to it because that's how it works if they're doing like a stockinette or something, whatever, that's a normal way to do it. But if it's in the round and you're just constantly knitting, your stitches could be a bit different. So when you're swatching and you're doing especially stockinette, so if you are doing like garter in the round, you don't need to swatch the garter in the round, because it's just knit stitches no matter what, right? So you can just do your garter how you normally do it with the, you know, the knits and the purls, because when you're doing it in the round, you're going to be knitting and purling each row anyway to get the garter stitch. Whereas when you are knitting stockinette stitch, you're knitting all knit stitches, whereas if you were doing it backwards and forwards, you would be doing knits and purls. So it changes how you do it. So I don't know if that made any sense at all. These needles, I got them, like, are you talking about these big brightly colored ones? I think they're just from Amazon. They're just bent tip needles from Amazon. I can't remember where exactly I got them from. I can't remember if they were either in a gift or they were, so I got all the silver ones with my blocking boards. So all the big silver ones I got with my blocking boards, they were part of the pack. But the colored ones I got somewhere else, and I can't tell you where, but I think I've seen them since on Amazon. So, yeah. But yeah, and Bianca, you're right. Because it's cotton and it's going to be a full cotton garment in my size, it's automatically going to drape. It's already going to pull. And that was my concern, was going to be too open, because I don't like tops where I'm going to be forced to wear a second layer. This is Queensland, it is hot. So this one here, I'm not going to need a second layer on, I don't think. This one I will, because that's just that little bit too open for me. But we'll see how they go. So that is, both of those projects are ready when I'm ready. So I've got all the yarn, I've got the swatches are done. So when I'm ready to start the project, I'm ready to go. I'm not ready to start them yet, but my brain was in a place where, sorry, my shirt's just flipping over the counter there. My brain is in a place where I couldn't cope with doing anything too tricky, but I needed to do something that wasn't reliant on my gauge. So I didn't want to, you know, work too much on my hat because it would change the tension, you know, things like that. So I thought swatches will do. I'll do swatches. So the thing that measures the gauge for the future pattern, let's do that instead. Francis said, did anyone else see on Hard Quiz the contestant whose subject was knitting? She was lovely and she won. I don't think I saw that. I'm going to have to go back and see if I can find it. Hard Quiz is on ABC, is that right? So it should be on iView. I don't know. So yeah. But that's where I'm at with my project. So my stripy tee is still put away until my brain just calms down just a smidgy dash more. I'm nearly ready to pick it back up. I just do not want to mess it up. I'm midway through sleeves. I was looking at it yesterday thinking I could probably do that. But I thought, you know what? I'm just going to give it another couple of days and get that done. And I haven't decided with this particular ranunculus in this. It's actually not as hot pink as the camera's making it out to be. It's actually a beautiful pink. I'm tossing up whether or not to give that long sleeve, so I've got like a comfy soft light long sleeve pullover for, like, you know, sometimes we get a cool summer night or something where you do just want a little bit of something, but you don't need like a full-on woolen jumper. I'm thinking about whether or not I want to give that some sleeves for that. I don't know. I think I've got enough yarn. It's going to come down to yarn quantities. I've got I think I've got 3 packs of each color, so 4 balls in each pack. In saying that, I'm already on the second ball, so they don't go as far, but you know, they also make big chunky thick project. So Prue from Adelaide. Okay. I'll have to go and check it out. I'll have to check that because that sounds like so much fun. Like, we've got to love it when our yarn crafties get, you know, a bit of love. Bit of love. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I've got those projects swatched and ready to go. I've got my stripy t-shirt is just waiting for my brain to calm back down. I've got my blue version of the Pride top, which I was looking at, like just trying to work out what I wanted to do with that. You know, the one that I was going to do the standard blue just at the top, and then do the helical. Well, that really changes the colors when I take my hands out of there. The helical, 3 colors of the colors of the cottons, for the rest of the body. So I'm tossing up whether or not I do want to do that. I mean, I love the idea of it, but I also am not 100% certain. So yes, I don't know. I do love the idea of it. The little thin pin stripes all the way around. I think it'll look super cute, but I've just got to double check where I'm at with it and make sure I am happy, because it's another big project again with the 4-ply cotton, which means lots of stitches. So if I screw it up, it's a lot of work that I have to fix or get rid of, or, you know, frog or whatever it is. So, but I think on that one, I'm just about down to the separating for sleeves. So I don't think I'm far off separating for sleeves. So that will, when I look at that one, that will determine where I go with it. Like if I'm just about to separate the sleeves, that's it. It's ready. It's what I'm doing. But I have so much of the blue, I could probably just make it all in blue if I wanted as well. Because I am a bit of a block color fan. Let me know in the chat. Are you like a multicolor or block color kind of person? So like, you know, like this looks like it's like a crazy collection of colors, but really it's going to be a beanie with either this with a bit of that or this with a bit of that. You know, you're not going to see all 3 colors at once. It's turn it inside out. So yes. I just want to go over here to the live stream screen, double check everything's still going good. So yes. But yes. I like lots of color, but not crazy. Yeah. I like color. I like depth of color, but I don't tend to go with a lot of stripy colors, because, and I don't know, I just don't. And I think that's where my brain's sort of like having a little freezy hiccup with these helical colors, because it's a lot of color for me, but I also just love how it looks. So this is just me. It seems like I'm sitting quite low here. Let me see if I can fix that. I'd like to fix it, please. Oh, I feel taller already. I feel so tall now. But yeah, it's definitely just one of these sort of, it's 100% a personal preference, and neither way is wrong or right or should or shouldn't be done. We're just talking about personal preferences. Knitspin Girl says, I suck at putting colors together, so I mainly do things in a single color. Okay, I get that. I get that. Have you done any sort of color classes, or use any apps or anything that help you with that? That's only if you want to, because there's nothing wrong with doing things in single colors. But if you want to step out of that and do it a bit differently, there's some options out there for helping with that. But yeah, it's one of those things. So, yes. Definitely personal choice. I prefer long color change or self-striping yarn. That helps with the decisions. That makes sense. I'm really enjoying all of the different colors in the Attic 24 blanket though. I bought the kit so I don't have to think about it. Oh, look, you know what, that, are you talking about that latest one? Because even I'm thinking about buying that kit. I haven't yet, but I'm so tempted. And I'm like, do I really need another acrylic blanket? I mean, yeah, of course. So that's a stupid question to ask. But I'm like, oh, I don't know if I do. Like right now I'm trying to move some things. So I'm trying not to buy like whole big batches and kits of yarn and huge amounts of stuff. She says having just bought a Lego thing and buying yarn at the yarn show thing at Redcliffe. But yeah, I don't know. But I also think it's lovely, and I love how she puts her kits together. There are apps for everything these days. Absolutely, there are. So many things to help everybody do their things, to, you know, get in and just make things happen. Knitspin Girl says, I'm making the cozy blanket. I don't know which one that is. Let me just, I mean, I have Ravelry open. Let me just go and check. Patterns. So it's Attic 24 cozy blanket. Attic 24 cozy blanket. And it's going to be all like, no, there's no such thing, because again, with the whole knitting, close the knitting. There. Oh, okay. Like that's the old, is that one of her first? For some reason, that one always makes me think of her first. But yes, I love this. I love the pattern in that. I do like that one. That's a cool one. When did that one hit the 2014? Oh, excuse me, 2014. That hit the decks a little while ago. I just sent her a message and she's like, hey, I want to do some more shuffling around on the patio. We're going to go through your dyeing stuff. I'm just like, oh, man. Far out. That's a tough one for me. That one's just it's just such an emotional thing. And yeah, some of it needs to go. Some of it I need to sell because it's too expensive to get rid of, but I've still got like IKEA cookers, which are not too expensive, and like things like that. So they can just go, and I've got some old pots that could just literally go in the bin. They don't need to be saved. But I'm just like, you know, there's some older dye there and I don't know what to do with that. Like, is it out of date? I don't know. Is it worth passing on to somebody? I don't know. I don't know the answers to these things. I certainly don't want to be dealing with Australia Post for it. So it's like if someone wants it, they need to come and get it. But yeah, I don't know the answers. I don't know. And I think that's why it's just been sitting there, because I don't know the answers. So it'll just be an undercover, just sitting there. But I do have two Bain Maries that if somebody used different pans in, could totally be used for food again. So, and I bought them well before their prices went crazy. So they could probably be easily sold off to somebody else. But the trays have to go to dyers. They can't go to anyone who would use it for food. Because, like, you know, they'd say, oh no, we won't use them for food. And it's just like, you can't use them for food. They've been used for dyeing. I think it's one of her early blankets. I liked it because it's easy. I'm not a very experienced crocheter. Knitspin Girls, what I will say is all of her patterns are designed to be technically easy. That some of them look trickier than others, but and there've been people who are like, oh, you know, where are the intermediate patterns, blah, 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 blah. And I read a blog post of hers many years ago, but how she specifically designs them to be accessible by newer crocheters. So yeah. I'm doing a Stephen West pattern. It's a beginner level and there was a 30-minute tutorial. That is very cool. That is very cool. Back in the day, he did a Craftsy class and I did that one and I thought that was a really fun class, and he's a very engaging teacher too. So I haven't even logged into my Craftsy account in so long. I really should. Craftsy have got like some crazy $1.99 deal, but I don't think it, let's just see. I don't think it's valid for me because I'm an ex-user. I have an account. It wouldn't be a new account. My account better still be there. I've got a pile of stuff. I've like tons. Like I think I've got like 100 paid for workshops that I bought over the years. Let me look. Can I log in? Did it work? Crossing my fingers, everybody. Cross your fingers. Where is my content? Everything is still there. All my things are there. Everything is there, so that is good. I'm so happy because there's a couple that I absolutely love. There was the Laura Nelkin Save Our Stitches. And that's basically a phenomenal workshop in how to fix sections of lace and cables that haven't pulled the whole lot out. I had a pile of sewing, so like drafting patterns, and Buds Knit Like a Master. Like I had so many so many things. Like how many have I got in here? It doesn't even tell me. 94. I have 94 classes. So it's a startup for quilting. It's like a master class of stuff. It's, you know, like so many, like I had sewing, knitting, cooking, crochet, like Photoshop, photography. Oh, spinning. There was some spinning as well. Let me have a look here. Yeah, there's so many things in here that I had. Let me just see, can I sign up for the $1.99 for a year? I don't even know. Membership details. Let's have a look. Oh, no, it says I can try it for the first year for $1.49 USD. It's usually $123. And I can, with your paid membership, you get to explore. Oh, look, why don't I just screen share it? Honestly, like seriously, Chantel, like let's just screen share it. Can I make this big? Get started. No, I can't. Oh, maybe if I, no. Explore over 2,000 premium classes and hundreds of instructional videos, access an extensive library of downloadable patterns and recipes, and admission to our exclusive live streaming virtual events. Your paid membership also gives you 2 free classes each year, and you can share your membership with 3 friends or family members. That is cool. I'm glad. I haven't decided if that's what I want to do, but here we'll go back to my, now that I'm screen sharing, I may have all of these. Look, I was an early adopter, man, and there was an issue with their website where we were all supposed to be given, like, there was some sort of thing happened and people were given a free pattern, a free class. And Gwen Bortner here, she's a legend. Oh, look, Asian dumplings from scratch. I made those. They were great. I got that one for Abby. That one wasn't for me. But yeah, so they had this issue where I had like 5 classes. No, was it 5? There was about 5 or 6 because they were also having a sale. There was 5 or 6 classes in my cart. And I thought, okay, so I'm going to get one of those for free and the others are on sale. I went through the checkout process and realized I got charged nothing, right? And I thought, that's not right. And so I tested it again. And I'm like, I've already used my free one. I should not be able to add any free ones. And I added another 5 classes, right? And it happened again. And so I instantly jumped on Messenger and messaged the guy who was running the website at that stage. And I was just like, this is what's just happened. I'd like to keep this one. And if we cancel the others and once the glitch is fixed, I'll go back and pay for these others. You know, like, but not the last 5, just take them away. They ended up closing the website temporarily. And he's come back to me later in the day and he was like, so many people jumped in and grabbed huge amounts of classes for free and no one told us there was a glitch except for you. And they actually let me keep all 10 of my classes. And then they actually went through and removed everyone else's and told them they could go in and choose one free class. So sorry if you were one of those people that thought you'd scored. But yeah, it was just like, I try to protect my friends in the industry as well. So, but yeah, it looks like, cause I haven't been a paid member in a very long time, I still have access to that $1.49. Now it might change. I might get through to the cart and it might be like, actually you already have an account, but I haven't decided if that's what I want to do yet. So I don't want to go that far. But yeah, those tutorials, like some of those classes that we did, they are timeless. Like I'm just looking at one here for like professional finishing for the perfect crochet projects. That's a timeless class. Do you know what I mean? Like that, a lot of the ones, especially the ones I chose, were technique classes. So, and there's Knit Faster with Continental Knitting from Lorelei Beltman. Lorelei Beltman who was recorded in that dodgy video that I watched all those years ago that I learned how to continental crochet from. So that's why I bought that one, because I was just like, man, I want to see what it looks like if she does it like properly lighting, not just someone using their phone in a dark corner of a room. But anyway, I need some water. My throat is fire. She says not going for the water and continuing to knit stitches with the wrong cameras on. Good job, me. Go me. Go me. I'm sort of looking at some of the ones that are just here on this page. I can't really see any that would be like, oh, that's not really relevant anymore, sort of like 10 years later. There's one here like how to make gnocchi like a pro. That one would be good. I love gnocchi. And there's foundations of double knitting with Lucy Neatby. Double knitting is not my strength. I love the idea of it, but like for up here, making like double thickness things is really not like a high priority. Frances says she loves pumpkin gnocchi. I like as in they make it with pumpkin instead of potato. I don't think I've had that. Or do you mean like with like potato gnocchi with like a pumpkin-y sauce? Because that sounds amazing too, by the way. Have you seen the new Yeti color? It's purple and sparkly, and I may have bought a bottle. No. She goes to the Yeti website. I try not to look. Because I've got lots of Yetis now, and I mean, other than wanting another, we need one more cup because we've only got 3. Oh my gosh, I do like that sparkly. I do like that. Textured. That's nice. I wonder if it's as easily washable. Dishwasher safe. It still says it's dishwasher safe. Is it textured on the outside? Frances says I got a purple sparkly one last week for my birthday. You guys. And what's the cherry blossom collection? There's a cherry blossom collection coming. They'll notify me. That's not really my kind of color. Although I think Abby might like that. So cherry blossom color, not for me. Where's the purple? Where is more cups? Give me the cups. No, that's not what I want. It doesn't look like the purple's available in the little, in these guys. It's slightly sandpapery. It's not necessarily a bad thing, especially with some of the bigger bottles. Let me go to, I don't want apparel. Collections. No. Drinkware. Drinkware. Mugs. I get I think these are the 14-ounce mugs. I'd have to check. Let me look at the colors. Nope. All the same colors that we've already got. We've already got those ones. Bored. bored. Go away. Don't want that. I like the idea of that purpley color, but it's just not available in the only cup thing that I'm after right now. In saying that, I do get a lot of use out of Abby's water bottles because they're that little bit smaller than mine. I'm not rushing out to buy my own because she's got like 4. So I'll just use hers. We all just put water in them, so it's not like there's any issues there. And I throw a chug top on top, and she likes the little sippy cup tops, so we're not even sharing that, even though it's getting washed. I had to get the kids' drink bottle, then bought the coffee lid. Okay. Yep. Yeah, because that's some of the stuff that you can do is you can buy a particular bottle, but they like quite often a lot of their lids are like they'll have like a range of lids that are interchangeable. So for like the water bottles, the flip up sippy straw things and the chug caps and the hot shots, they're all interchangeable. So that's pretty cool. I like that. Should check how much of this purple I've done. I don't think I've done enough of it yet before I have to worry about decreasing, but I'm curious. Just curious. Oh, inches. Inches. Do this one in inches. So about there-ish. Let's go flat underneath. Pull this forward. So the bulges at the top of the back. Just try not to lose any stitches either, because go me. About 3 inches. Not bad. Not bad. About when did we start the changes here? At about 4 inches, we start doing the decreasings. Is that right? Around, maybe I need to start looking at around sort of the 3 3/4 mark. I can't quite tell. Yeah, about the 3 1/4. So I'm nearly there. I'm nearly ready to start decreasing, like just short of another inch. That's pretty cool. That's pretty positive. I'm happy about that. I'm loving working with this yarn though. Just gorgeous. Just gorgeous. I've felt that way about all of them, to be honest, but yeah. And then I'll need to come up with a matching cowl pattern. So if you guys, because I want to put the 3 colors into a cowl, so maybe again where one side is that, and then the other side is that and that. I've got extra of this. So if I need another skein of it to do that, I can do that. So no biggie there. But yeah, so I'd like to do that so that we can make them all match up again. So if you guys have got any suggestions, happy to hear about those. For a matching cowl. I'm definitely more of a cowl wearer than a scarf wearer, unless it's a woven scarf. I don't know what it is about woven scarves. I like a good woven scarf. So yeah. But I don't know how I want the cowl to work. I mean, I could do it like I did the one that I did before and just put like all of the colors in, so you know it doesn't actually matter which side is when. That would make sense, right? So yes, I'll tell you what, I'm so glad I put the fan on in here. It makes a world of difference. I don't know why, like this top is not that glowy, right? Like I know when I wear my red tops I understand why they glow, but this is just bouncing so much color. Note to self, back to the grey. Back to the grey. What about a slip mosaic? Like those beanies I made. I don't know. I'll have to have a look. I can't remember what they look like. You'll have to bring me a photo to look at tonight. Are you coming to Caffeinated tonight? I don't know. Like those grannies that are made. Yeah, it's all bouncing off my shirt. It's so weird. Maybe the light is angled badly. I don't know. I'll have to look into that. I'm like, man, I've only got like 3/4 of an inch, but that's still like, 10 rows or something because only 2mm needles. Such a good color. Such a good color. Ah, oh yeah, you can. Cool. Thank you. But no, I'm trying to be very good with the Yetis. I love the Yetis and I could probably go much harder than we already have. But we've got like what I did was I made like, this is a space that I'm happy to put Yetis. This space is now full. Like if all the Yetis are washed up and put away, so if there's none in people's cars or anything like that, they only just all fit. Now, it's very rare that all the Yetis are washed up at the same time because Tim takes his to work every day, Abby takes one to work every day, and then she takes another one to the gym. And, like there's always some that are in flux or in use. So, but yeah, it's an interesting situation. But like I've got like this plastic straw that I used to keep a lot, like, when Abby was a kid, like we need all these little plastics and things. But I'm like, do we need to keep them anymore? Like, really? I don't think we do. I could probably make an entire Yeti drawer and just fill it with Yetis. No, Francis, you're right. I really don't need another Yeti. I think if I was to buy one that wasn't the 4th mug, because we've only got 3 mugs and that does my head in. If I was to buy one that wasn't the 4th mug, it probably would be one of these smaller water bottle sizes, just because I know how much I use Abby's. Like if she decides to move out of home or something, I will definitely need to buy one because she'll be taking all of those with her as they are hers. Actually, we'd lose 2 of the mugs too, now that I think about it. They're hers too. But yeah, that's what happens when you combine your Yeti collections. So does everyone know what they're going to be having for lunch today? I've got some Youfoodz thing that I haven't looked at yet. I've got a pile in there. I don't know which one I'm going to have, but I'll have one of them, which makes it really handy. And it's like, you don't need another Yeti. It's like, do we need more yarn? No, probs not. Probs not. But are we going to buy more yarn? Good chance. There's seriously a good chance. Do I need more Lego flowers? Probs not. Am I going to buy more Lego flowers? There's a good chance. Kerry says that she's going to be having chicken soup. Oh, actually, ladies, what is your go-to method for shredding chicken? I've always been like a double fork user, right? Like 2 forks, smush, 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 smush. But I'm like looking at some of these meal prep things and they use this thing that twists and does it. Bianca's having banh mi. Oh my gosh. I was telling Abby yesterday how much I felt like banh mi. Game Widow says, I'm thinking of making some cheese and corn muffins with my sourdough discard or making some more sesame crackers. Nice. That all sounds lovely. Kerry uses forks. Yeah, I've always just used forks, but I'm like, man, I need to do like a lot of chicken for this thing I want to do. Do I really want to do that with forks? Can I just buy myself a time-saving thing off Amazon? Forks will do it. I just don't want to do it. And I just look at these other things and I think, do they actually work? Like they look like they work, but Frances says she doesn't shred. She uses the sharp knife and goes choppity chop 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 chop. Yeah, I like the texture of the shredded better. Game Winner says use your stand mixer with the paddle attachment. I've got to check. I'm not sure if mine's got a paddle like that. I've got a balloon whisk. I'll have to check. I'll check. I've probably got some sort of paddle attachment. But it's only one paddle. It's not like multiple paddles. So they wouldn't get caught on each other. I could just see it just moving it around the bowl. I'll have to check what I've got. I can't remember. I've got a Mum 5 Bosch thing. I don't have a KitchenMaid or anything. Let me look. Mum 5 Bosch. What paddles do I have? Let's look at the paddle options. Yeah, no, I don't have like a proper heart. Go away. Decline all of your dumb cookies. Yeah, it doesn't have a proper paddle option. It either has like a dough hook, a big balloon whisk, or a balloon whisk, like, or just a whisk with 2 things on each side, but no hard, firm paddle. Like, it would break. It would break. That's dumb. Well, they come with some different stuff now. Cool. But yes, mine does not have a firm paddle. So, forks it is. Lame. Let me see if I can find one. Oh, Daniel, you need to stop doing that. Chicken shredder. Let me just Google chicken shredder and see what happens. Kmart has one. Amazon's got one. The people actually like them is the question. Big W has one. The Kmart chicken shredder. I'm just opening up Kmart. It's hugely $6. And there's only one review. And the review says, I haven't tried it yet. Okay, then why review it? You gave it 5 stars and you haven't tried it. Oh my gosh. But they all seem to be like a similar idea. We thought we needed to replace the air fryer. Turned out it wasn't plugged in. Oh my gosh. I'm just gonna mute a video here. Oh, it is already muted. All right, let me have a look here. Wow, they make it look really simple, but they like do 2 turns and then cut to it nearly being done. And you're like, okay, that's cool. I love the idea of it. I just don't know. You guys know help. Leanne says that they are meant to be pretty good, but do I really need another kitchen gadget? See, that's where I'm at as well, Leanne. Like I would use a lot more shredded chicken and things if shredding chicken wasn't such a pain in the butt. The Artist Haven says, I cook my chicken thighs in a crock pot and then you use my meat shredder things to pull them. Makes me feel like Wolverine. Oh, man. These are like what I've been looking at. Let me just see if I can just open up a page so you can just see the imagery. I haven't read the listing on it on this one or anything. This is just the page that I pulled. But that's the idea. And you kind of hold down these 2 things and turn them like, and the big teeth at the top and the big teeth at the bottom, you know, that's my technical review. Dishwasher. So it goes in the dishwasher. I don't tear by hand. I use other stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I'm tempted. And for $12, like really, it's not like it's going to break the bank. I have got one of those. Oh, do I have? No, no. I got the one for the whisking. I don't think I got the one for the food processing cutting thing. I know what you're talking about because I was working at Tupperware at the time. I was a Tupperware dealer back then. But I don't think I got one of those. I think I got the whisks. This bin girl just uses a knife as well. Yeah, I don't want to cut it up. I do want it shredded. What made me think of it was the chicken soup, because like shredded chicken and chicken soup is so much nicer than chopped chicken and chicken soup. The shredding just does something. I don't know what it is. And I like putting shredded chicken through salads and stuff like that. I don't know what it is about the shred versus a cut, but yeah. Yeah, Leanne's got an issue there with meat under her nails. Like, yeah, no, that would be awful. That would be awful. That's why I normally stick with the forks, honestly. I don't really have to touch it much. Leanne agrees on the chicken soup. The shredded chicken is just better. Yeah. Yep. I just think, like, I understand, like, the ease of chopping it. I really do. But I just think shredded chicken, just, especially if it's going to have, like, dressing or soup or something like that, it just, I think it's got something to do with the surface area. I don't know what it is, but yeah. I definitely am looking into options because I would like to add more shredded chicken to things. Oh, shredded chicken is better for enchiladas as well. Yep. I can imagine. Now I want enchiladas. My tummy just went, yes, We're not having enchiladas. I'm not making them for lunch. But yeah, no, there's just, I don't know, it's just one of those personal preference things. Like, I got nothing against chopping up the chicken. I chop up chicken for a lot of stuff. But I think there's some things that, for me at least, that I do prefer the shredded chicken. So, but I reckon shredded chicken in tacos with all that good seasoning would be amazing if I could work out how to do that. That would be awesome. But it's one of those things because you've got to cook it first and then shred it. So, yes. But anyway. Obviously, coming on to lunchtime because we've gone to the food topic, haven't we? I'm getting hungry. I didn't have a proper breakfast. I jumped on a work thing straight away, which I'm really happy about because it opened up some more doors there, which is awesome. But now I'm hungry. And I did have some breakfast. I just didn't have much. That's all. Let's just say my dietitian would not have approved. But yeah, one thing I will say, just on a Chantel's health journey thing, the swelling, I'm on like day 6 of no swelling in my feet. And so, you know, all I have done for that, aside from, you know, my standard food stuff, like watching what I'm eating and things like that, which has not changed in the last year, whereas the swelling in my legs thing did change. All I've changed is vitamin D, and because I was so low, so we're supposed to have anywhere between 100 to 150, and I had 30. So I don't know what the measurement unit is. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but mine was just so very low. And my doctors had me on like this massive doses of vitamin D to get my vitamin D levels back up. Because like for years, doctors have gone, oh, you've got a vitamin D deficiency. Go and get some vitamin D supplements and have a vitamin D tablet each day, blah, 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 blah. And I was doing that. Except what happens is you grab one of those 1,000 microgram vitamin D tablets, which is what you need each day, that keeps you where you're at. It doesn't actually get you back ahead. And so my doctor, my new doctor is just like, yeah, no, it's totally safe for you to have more, especially considering how low it is. And so she's got me on crazy amounts. And I'm like to the point now, if I get to 7 days, I've got my favorite sandals that I had to stop wearing that I'm going to risk wearing. Because I have missed them so much. And I'd bought a brand new pair just before all this stuff started happening. And I basically got to wear them in, and that's it. And so, yeah, so I am very, very happy about it. Now, it's not to say they don't swell at all, but I'm waking up with them not swollen, not stiff, not sore. And then it's only if I'm like at my desk for a lot of hours without moving around too much that they start to get stiff again. And that's going to happen because that's what happens when you sit at your desk all day. So, so that just means I just need to get up and move around. And that's a bit more normal. But when you wake up with it already stiff and sore, that was an issue. So yeah, I think day 5 or 6 I'm on now. Yeah, Knitspin Girl says, I take 3 times the recommended dose of vitamin D. My doctor told me to. Yeah, I'm on a lot. I'm on a bit more than that right now, but that's temporary as well. The plan is to go down. But yeah, like the recommended dose is if you've got decent vitamin D levels and you want to maintain them. That's not you've got no vitamin D and you're trying to build it up. And I didn't understand that. So, and I was making things worse myself because I don't see a lot of sunlight because I work sitting here, and I work a lot. So, you know, I was not making that extra effort to go out into the sun. And so I wasn't getting that vitamin D as well as, you know, I'm not helping myself really. So now I'm helping myself. So if you have been told by your doctor that you are a vitamin D person, that you need vitamin D, go and double check that you're actually having enough to boost it, not just to maintain it. And then talk to your doctor about that and see if you can, you know, increase it. But from what I was told and, you know, increasing it up a little bit, there's no side effects. Other than the, you know, good effects. Because I when I first noticed the swelling was going down in my feet, I'm like, all I've changed is that. And I've Googled it like thinking like literally like, oh, this is so going to come back with no, but does vitamin D in any way help with inflammation? And I was just like, oh my gosh. Kerry says my 3 to 4 kilometer walks help with the vitamin D and the stiffness. Yeah, it would do. It would do. Bianca says we're told to avoid the sun here. Absolutely. So this was the confusing thing. I had stage 2 melanoma on my back and I was told stay out of the sun. So I stay out of the sun. And then it's like, then you have this chronic vitamin D deficiency. And so, or just very low. And now it's just like, well, you're not getting enough sun. You're just like, which one is it? Which one is it? So yeah, so it's just one of these things. So, and also another medical professional is helping me find some options for my knee because I want to do more exercise, but I'm very limited to how many steps I'm allowed to do because of the condition of my knee, and it'll just destroy what's there. So, you know, like I had to have this conversation with my husband because he's like, if you just go for a walk, and it's just like a walk is actually the worst thing I can do. Like going for long walks or even short walks. No, I need to save the steps I'm allowed to do for errands, for shopping, for housework, for standard stuff. I can't just use those steps by going and taking the dog for a walk because then I come home and I just have to sit down because I've got to get all the weight off it to try and help it as much as possible. So I'm currently avoiding a knee replacement is what's going on. The condition of the bone is very bad and I am currently avoiding a knee replacement. And so we were looking at options, and the other problem that I have is knee braces and knee straps and things like that. I've got very big legs, and so they all roll down or don't fit or whatever. And then, you know, this friend of mine was like, well, just tape it. And I'm like, I can't tape it because I'm allergic to a lot of the adhesives in the tapes. I can't even use micropore. And she was like, have you tried this one? And it's the Rock Kinesiology tape. I can't remember the exact model of it, but there's one for sensitive skin. So we're going to give that a try. So if I can strap the knee a little bit, I might be able to do just a smidgy bit more exercise before I hit failure points. Because what happens is I'll get to a failure point and my failure point is actually collapsing on the ground with my knee not being able to take the weight at all, or any body weight. And so that's a pretty epic failure point, and it takes a little while before it can take it back up again. I don't have a pool. And I don't go in public pools. But pools are awesome. So if you do have access to a pool, you should absolutely try it. But I don't have access to a pool. So yeah, there's only so many sort of SeaWorld whale rescue jokes that you can put up with in your lifetime, and I've hit my limit. So I don't swim in public at all anymore, even though I love swimming. So I have let the haters win on that one. I also don't eat in public when I can avoid it. Same deal. You can't win. If you're having something healthy, you get the whole, it's a bit late for a salad. And if you're having like something a bit cheeky, you've been working really hard or whatever, and you grab a burger or something like that, and you're like, well, and then you get the whole, well, you know, if you ate better then. So I generally don't eat in public either. We get takeaway. We get like, you know, we've got so many options for getting good quality takeaway from around here, like great Thai food and Indian food and stuff like that. So we tend to just bring it home and eat here. So yeah, so I have these couple of issues. They're my own mental battles with those sorts of things, and I don't cope very well with them. And so as to try and win more, I choose my battles. So these are battles I've chosen not to battle, and I just do something else. But I think that if I could, like, you know, if I can just sort a few things out, then it'll be easier trying the pool again and stuff like that. Every couple of years I go and try the pool again, and then my brain just, if I just hear it once, that's it. It's like, okay, the jokes have started. If one person feels it was okay, it's not long before somebody else jumps in. Let's have a look here. Leanne says, come with me, I'm bigger, I'll squish them. Yeah, I can only win so many battles, and I have enough internal battles, and they are some external ones that I can actually avoid, so I just avoid them. Probably not the healthiest choices, but they're the choices I've made so that I can continue on doing the other things that I do. So yeah, it's a pretty crappy, you know, all these people that are like supposedly, you know, pro health, pro fitness, and you go out to actually have a have like a you know, try to get started on a routine and try to do this stuff, and then you just smack down at every sort of opportunity. I don't like going to gyms either for the same reason. I went with Abby one time, and she was like, just ignore them, Mum, just ignore them. And I couldn't ignore them because they were pointing and they were laughing, and it was this little group of just teenage girls. They weren't anyone, but I just was just like, you know what? I can just do this at home. I can do this at home. I don't need to be here to do this. And so therefore I don't need to put up with that. So all these people that are like, just go to the gym, just go to the pool, just, you know, and it's just like, if people knew how to shut their mouths, you'd probably have a lot more people going to the gym that need to go, and going to the pool that need to go. But there's always some smart aleck out there who decides they're right to have an opinion, and they'll voice it. So, wow, that got deep and dark, didn't it? Sorry. Oh, and they're like, I'm just trying to be helpful. And you're like, no, you're not being helpful. You're being a rude prat. So, yeah. Get thicker skin. No, don't need to get thicker skin. People just need to learn to shut their mouths. Leanne says, I'm staying as polite as I can here. Some people are just awful, and people get, yeah, and I know that it's probably none of you, right? It's probably none of you would ever do that to somebody else, because it's the unhinged people. It's not the functional adults that do this stuff. It's not people who are functioning. It is people who are dysfunctional in some way that make these public statements and say this stuff to people. And You know, like if you're a fully functioning adult, what somebody else is doing makes no difference to you. So yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. They need to put someone else down in order in order to feel better about themselves. Absolutely, and that's what I mean by fully functioning versus non-fully functioning. People who need to put someone else down to make themselves feel better, they've got their own issues. They've got their own problems, and they need to sort that out. But they don't think they have a problem. Most of them, because you know, as long as they're putting someone down, they feel fine. So yeah, it's one of those things. But you know, I'm feeling stronger the last sort of 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I'm definitely feeling stronger. I don't know if the scales haven't changed that much, and clothes fitting has changed a little, but not a lot. Um, but yeah, just I feel stronger and I feel more stable. I know that sounds bizarre, but I feel more stable when I'm walking. So that also makes me feel heaps better too, because when my knee goes, it just goes. Like I was out with Abby, we were just at Beenleigh Marketplace, just at the shops, right? And we were just walking around, and then Abby just stops and looks at me and goes, "What just happened?" And I went, "What do you mean?" She goes, "Because all of a sudden you've just slowed right down, and now you are walking like you're on a ship." I went, "Oh, my knee went out. Now I just have to adjust how I'm walking so I can keep walking." And she just went, "What did you do to make it go out?" And I went, "I didn't do anything. It just goes sometimes." And she was just like, "Oh." And she got to see the 3 different phases in that one day, because then once it goes, if I don't stop and go home, which we couldn't, we had a couple of things we had to get done, then it got worse and worse and worse. So yeah. Oh, knit spin girls, I agree with you. I wear a lot of black and a lot of grey. I actually like wearing black and grey for a start. I don't so much do it for other people, but you do definitely blend into the background better, for sure, than when you're wearing bright colours and patterns. Definitely. Definitely. She says knitting the brightest knitting over the last, you know. I'm wearing a top that's like in big, it's not that bright, seriously. It's just, it's terracotta. But yeah, it's just, you know, it's, people are just people, right? And some people are trash can people, and some people are not trash can people, and some people are just normal and just get on with their lives and don't try to impact other people, and some people do. And some people like to impact other people negatively, and some people like to impact other people positively. And yeah, it's just an interesting dichotomy of of humanity. So I've got the things that I do to cope with that, and they're the 2 big ones, which is unless I'm with friends, like caffeinated crafters and stuff like that. Unless I'm with friends, I don't eat in public. And then I also don't swim in public, which I actually love swimming. So it's like this big, like my husband every now and again is like, "Oh, you're cutting off your nose to spite your face. You absolutely love to swim. You feel amazing in the water, blah, 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 blah. But then you don't do it because you're so worried about other people." And I'm like, I'm not so much so worried about other people. I'm worried about how long it takes me to bounce back after that's been said. So yeah. Bianca says, "I used to get a lot of comments when I was young and very thin. There's no winning." There is no winning. And this is the thing. It's not about what we look like. It's about what other people perceive to be good behavior and what's acceptable to say in public. Like a lot of people have not been brought up with the saying, if you don't have something nice to say, don't say anything at all. They don't have that running through the back of their heads like some of us do, you know? So, and it's not even an age group thing. It's not even like just young people like Abby's age or anything like that. It's not an age group thing, because I've copped it from like people that are like my grandparents' age down to my age, down to Abby's age. Like it's a full spectrum of rude people. Oh, me too, Leanne. Me too. Being in the water is so amazing. It really is. It really is. So yeah. Yeah, but there is no winning. But I just have to choose my battles, and like What will push me down the hardest and the longest, that takes me the longest to get over and to get back up on top of everything again. And avoid those and sort of live with the median and chop the ends off. So the extremes, I don't do the extremes. So I don't, yeah, it's just one of those things. Anyway, we're well and truly over time, everybody. And I'm very hungry. So I'm going to bolt. Well, I'm not going to bolt. I'm going to go out to the kitchen and I'm going to heat up my U-Foods, which is my calorie controlled lunches, and which are very tasty, I will say as well. Some are nicer than others. For some reason, the ones with peas in them all end up tasting gross, and I don't know why. So I'm going to have to make sure I don't order anything with peas. So no peas and no cauliflower, because the cauliflower tastes like bleach. I don't know why that is happening. But yeah, all the others are good. All the others are good. All right, my friends, it has been so nice having everyone to hang out with today. We've got the long productivity stream on the weekend where we just have tunes playing and we just get on with our stuff. We've got that happening. We've got Caffeinated Crafters happening tonight at Beanley Marketplace at Cafe 63 from 6 p.m. So if you want to come along, you come to that. And you know, just lots of hanging out stuff happening this week, just to make, I feel really bad for missing last week, but I just couldn't muster the humaning. I really couldn't. Not after the full day and then having to like go to bed. And I think I still had to work the next day. So it was kind of like my evening after a full day's work kind of thing. And I couldn't. I thought about it and I just went, it's going to be awful for everybody watching. I'm just going to be sitting here like this. I couldn't even sit on the couch and craft. But anyway, I will catch you all here either on Saturday for the big one or next Thursday, Australian time. And I hope you all have an amazing week. We'll see if I get my stripy jacket, stripy sweater going again, because I'm like down to here on one of the arms. I just need to do that a little bit more. Get that all done, and then I can finish that off because it's perfect weather for it. All right, I'll catch you all later. Bye now.